Hi all, this is part 8 of series of 9 videos. In this video, we will use the GCP cloud and OS we will use the Ubuntu here. This is uh, for the POC for the setup Kubernetes cluster using the kops tool. You can see here we will just discuss on the introduction of the kops, then what is the installation process for creating the Kubernetes cluster, and we will deploy one application on that cluster. This is our today's POC. We will discuss on this thing today. But before starting to this POC, we are doing set up the Kubernetes cluster using the kops. In my last video, I've already said the other ways to creating the Kubernetes cluster on the GCP cloud. Let me show you that videos, right? That video is already in the YouTube, so I will show you how can you search it. Just put my name and CICD. That's it. So this is you can see here. Uh, this is my video which I've already shared. This is a content 8 parts of video, and this is a part 1 for introduction, where I will show you what I did earlier for this creating the Kubernetes cluster. You can see here in this video, I've already created this GCP, this creating cluster on GCP using the command line. And we have created the manager and nodes over here in this part 2 video of this series. And also in the part 3 video, you can see I've created the Kubernetes cluster on the using the GCP, GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine. That is a PaaS service for the Google. So I've already covered these two types of uh, videos which I've covered for the creating the Kubernetes cluster. And now in this video, I'm discussing on the third type of creating the Kubernetes clustering within the kops tool. Kops tool, you can see it is not covered here. So in this series of video, I am using the kops for both the environment for AWS and GCP. So we are going back to our agenda. This is here in this series of the eighth video, and in this same series of the seventh part 6 for this video, I have shared same thing, same creating the Kubernetes cluster using the AWS. So kops is a Kubernetes operation, is open source project used to set up a Kubernetes clusters easily and swiftly. It considered a kubectl way to create a clusters. kops We can use kops for the creating the Kubernetes cluster on the both the environments, both the clouds platform like AWS and the GCP. So AWS we already covered in the last videos, and now we are covering the here in this video of the GCP. So these are the installation steps. First, we need to uh, install the G Cloud, and then we need to install the kubectl. Then we will install the kops, and we need to create some bucket over here where kops will keep their details for the folders and file over there. And after that, we will check some things. What is instance, group details, network list, and firewall rules. We will check over here, because when we will create a Kubernetes cluster, it will create all those things here. Like it will create the new instances, new computer zones, groups, group list, right? And network list, network subnets, firewall rules, it will create. So after that, we will create a bucket to here, and we will expose the environmental variable, right? And at last, we will create the key generate And after doing this, we will go for the creating the cluster. So we will pass some parameter for creating the cluster. We will discuss in detailed discussion when we will be starting this demo. And if you want to set our nodes and master server details, we can edit the details and we can check it out. And finally, when we will check everything, if you are okay, then we can go and finally create a cluster using this command. So when we will create the cluster, it will create the following things like GCP instance and instance group, folders, files in the bucket, create new roles, create load balancer, create firewall rows, create network and subnets, right? So after creating this command, finally command, we need to validate the cluster. It will take some time for creating the cluster. So when we get the validation successful, then we will go to connect to the master system directly using this command, right? Now, after that, our cluster will create it, then we will go and check our nodes kubectl get nodes command. And after that, we will go for the deletion of this cluster using this command. So that command we will not use here because we will go in the next video for this series. We will create a pipeline, and that cluster we will use in that pipeline, right? So here you can see when we'll run this command for deletion, it will delete all those resources which we created earlier. You can see. And something, suppose if network is not required, we can go and delete it manually, and bucket we need to delete it manually, bucket. And we need to check only these resources which are deleted or not. After installation of we will go and deploy one application here, and we will use Mongo load balancer application here. That is front end and back end things. Not application is from front end, node from the back end. We will deploy two services over here, and we will run this application. And we will run this application in the 4-way. I will show you how can we run this application, that thing, and we will delete after successfully testing up it, we will delete all those services and deployments right over there in Kubernetes. So this is our agenda for today. So let's go and start our POC. Now, first step, we need to go and create a cluster GCP Ubuntu instance, and we will give the name KA Test Management Server because it will manage the systems, right? So let's open the Cloud Console here. This is already open. You can see I already log in. No, currently I don't have any VM instance here. So I am going and create a VM instance. This is name I put a K8 management instance, and I'm using N2 system. I'm N2 standard 4. I'm selecting here, and I'm checking this Ubuntu OS from here, and version we will take 18.04, and I'm allowing the traffic over here, and I will just go and create the system, right? Now it is creating the VM. Just wait for a few seconds. After that, we will let sudo access and we will update all those packages. And we will go and install gcloud, right? You can see our server is ready. Let me connect. It is connecting to the system. Yeah, it is. You can see it is connected here. I'm taking the sudo. Now I am just running the apt update. You can see here apt get update. Now you can see here all the packages are get updated here. Now we need to go install the G Cloud using the below command. Now we can check whether it is installed or not, which cloud is already there, which GSUtil. You can get this which G Cloud version. Now it is already installed, right? We can see all those version over here, right? Now it is done. Now we will go and install the kubectl. I've added already here command. You can see this kubectl, we get it. Now we need to give the executable command to kubectl. Now we need to move into the USR folder. It is moved. Now you can see kubectl version. It is version is already showing 1.20, right? Now we have done this also. Let me increase little bit this. Okay. Now in the next, so we need to install the kops, right? We got the kops here, right? Now we will give the executable permission and we'll move to the USR folder. And now you can check the kops version, right? It is installed, right? Kops is installed here. Now we need to create the bucket. We need to do the login with our Google Cloud. So let me log in it. It is asking this URL. We need to go over there. And this is my account, which I'm using currently. I got the code here. I'm pasting here. You can see here, it is logged in with this account. Your current project ID, this one. And you need to Google, you can set your project ID here, right? So let's go in our, here you can see my project is showing my project and this ID is showing double below, right? This ID is we are getting here. See, right? If you want to set, we can set project here, right? This project we can set like a gcloud config set project command, right? So let me run this one again. Or before, let me check this list. We can see. I'm getting all those details for that compute list. It is connected successfully. So don't need to run this command. It is alternate command which I kept here, right? You can see here compute instance list. We can check it here. You can see here currently we have only one instance which created currently. This is showing machine type you selected. Standard default is showing that IP and every status is running. You can see here we can get every details for our current account, right? You can see we don't have any instance group, right? You can see this is current position. We don't have any network list, right? You can this subnet is showing currently by as a default subnet I'm using, right? You can see network default and firewall rule list. You can check it out here. You can see currently we have this firewall rule, right? Default one. You can see why I'm showing this thing here, because when we create a cluster, Kubernetes cluster, it will change. It will create some things here. It will create some firewall rules, some network, and also it will create some subnets, right? Multiple things it will create. So we are good up to this slide. Now we need to check the bucket list in this in my current account. We don't have current anything in my list. So I am going and I'm creating one list bucket here, event2. It is created. Now if I'll check our list, we will get one our bucket name, this one, right? This is created here. And we need to export this. It is exported, right? Now we will go and generate the key. Let me check. Currently we are on the root, right? So let's go and generate the key. I will show you before this. You can see this is SSS folder and SSS. You can see we don't have any key here, right? Only authorized keys there. So let's go and generate it. This is generated. Now if we'll go and see, you can see this public and private ID is created, right? Now if you want, we can check which project we are using. You can see here eco project. It means our project is not at set, right? We are not getting any project. So I think we need to set our project. Maybe in later slide we will do it. And you can see cloud info. If you want, we can see. You can see this is information about our Google Cloud account. You can see account name is this one. I am using this project, this one, right? And we will set this project, right? Let me go in the next slide. You can see here we are setting our project, right? So just before creating the Kubernetes cluster command, we need to set our project, right? So I am going to set here. Let me clear it. Currently, you can see here, we don't have any project set, but when we will set this project here, now we will check. We can see this project is set, current project our set, right? And now we need to export. Now we have set this is GC, and now we need to create this cluster. You know, you can see this Jones is showing which environment we are showing. It is availability zone. US Central 1A. I will show you. You can see here our zone is US Central 1A. right? Our BMage here. So it will going to create this cluster in the same environment, right? And you can see in the state corpse state store, this is the uh, details, and this is the project details which you set here, right? You can see here in my GitHub URL, I will show you a detailed description. My GitHub URL which I am using. This one. Let me open this GitHub URL. It will explain you. You can see here in this Kubernetes folder, I have created steps. Kubernetes setup for GCP, Kubernetes setup for AWS. I have mentioned here already. You can go here in GCP. You can see step by step. I have mentioned here also. G-Cloud, how to kubectl, right? We did kops. We need to connection auth. We can check all those details, right? And you can see here you can create a bucket, right? And generate the key. And next, you can see we can create a cluster over here, right? So let's run that thing, right? I'm doing okay. So let me go back. This one, I'm just running this command, right? I've copied it and I want to run here. We can see here we're getting the authentication issue, insufficient authentication scope. So due to this, we need to run this command also. See. Again, I'm clicking this URL. And I'm clicking here. I'm pasting verification code here, then enter. Now this, you can see Quetta is added to the ADC, which can use the Google Client Library for bidding, right? Now, I think now we can run our command, right? Here. I'm running it, this command again. Now you can see here we got the access because my project was earlier not added in the Google billing account, that was added, right? So you can see here it is giving the suggestion we can get detailed get cluster, and we can edit the cluster details using this command, right? And also we can edit our nodes instance for this command, and also we can edit the master using this command, right? We can do it if it's required, right? You can see here. If we want to change anything, I will show you. Suppose I am taking example here. If you want to change our master instance for anything, you can go and check here. I will show you. You can see it is showing the details of our master. What is the image name and what is the machine type it is using. We can change the machine type here, and maximum size and minimum size both are giving here. And you can see subnet name is showing in this zone, right? 1A, central 1A, right? So this is details. If you want to modify anything, you can modify. Otherwise, you can leave it, right? So I'm not changing anything here. Similarly, we can go and check the details for the node also, node instance, right? How many instances you want to create. See, instance type here in one standard 2, maximum 2, minimum 2, you can see here. And currently you can see here in our machine, I'm using instance type. Let me open it. You can see here we are using N2 standard 4, right here, this one. If you want, we can, this is N1 standard 2. So if you want to change our machine, I will show you how can we change it, right? I'm changing is to N2, N1 standard 2 to N2 standard 4. See, same type, I have changed it, 4 CPU and 16 GB RAM, right? N2 standard 4, our nodes, 2 nodes will be created with this configuration, right? So we have changed it. Now we need to save it, right? Let me change our master one also. Master one, we have this uh, thing, right? So I am changing to the same N2 standard 4, right? I'm saving it, right? Now after running it, after configuration, everything you can see here. You can see our corps get cluster details over here. If you run this command, it will show the details. And after finally, if we are okay with that, we can go and create the cluster with the create the cluster using this command, right? And same command I have mentioned here in the next slide. You can see here. And when we will run this command, it will create the value resources in GCP, right? So let's go and run this command. I've copied this command, same command, right? And I'm running it. So you can see here it is creating the firewall auto scaling group, right? It is going on, and it will create the instance. So let's go and check all those things where we are getting in the console or not. Let's go from here. Still instance is not created. Let me check. I'm checking, opening the load balancer in the new tab. You can see it is creating one load balancer here, API simple K8 local. And here you can refresh it. Let me refresh it again. You can see it is created one node here, and that is in process, right? You can see it is going on, right? And it is completed, and we can see here cluster is starting, and it would ready in a few minutes, right? So we can validate our cluster and wait for 10 minutes, right? You can see here, let's let for validate the cluster. It is validating cluster. Let me wait. Then you can see here, it's only one node is created. Let me refresh it again. Still one is created. So it will take around 5 to 10 minutes. You can see validation failed because it is still in the creation process, right? So when it will create it, we will get three systems here. Still, it is not creating. It is in the progress, and you can see it is here. You can see load balancer is created here. Let me refresh, and it is showing backend is still in progress, right? So I am pausing this video for a few minutes, and I will come back when it is completed, right? Because it will take 5 to 10 minutes process. You can say here now our cluster is ready after 5 to 10 minutes. And also we faced one issue here. I just want to highlight it here. We have selected N2 standard 4, but due to the limit issue, this instance is not created. So now I've changed the instance type for N1 standard 1 for both one, right? And N1 standard 2 for the nodes. So after that, it is creating the VMs. I will show you that VM. You can see it has created the three VMs. This is node 2, node 1, and this is master 1. And this is K8 management server. We are doing or running all those commands from this server, right? So you can see here it is running here one load balancer also. And this load balancer IP it is using, right? You can see here. So let me run you again. 1 minute. I'm running you again here. Validate cluster. You can see here. You can see here we have three systems, right? Master 2 ready and nodes are ready, and you can see my cluster is ready, right? So we can see, try to run kubectl get all. It is running. You can see we are getting the default cluster name over here, right? And also you can see here kubectl get nodes. We are getting all those nodes, right? Master and nodes, right? So up to here we are okay. So next, go to the here. You can see we have run this command, right? And we have finally created the cluster. Now you can see here, you can check our instance and group command. You can check the new roles. You can check the load balancer, right? It will create all those things, right? So we have already done the validated our cluster. Now we need to connect to the master cluster, right? So I've copied this command when it is we run this when we run this command, we got this message. So I copied here to show you we got it. So we already run this cluster, right? And after that, I'm just SSH to the master. You can see. Let's try this command whether it is working or not, right? And you can see same command I have written over here, right? The same command. So let's go and run it here. You can see it is showing some name resolution. So what we will do to connect for the server, I am removing the host name, and I have written here, you can see here, host name Kubernetes master server, right? So let me go over there. We can try with the public IP for that cluster. This is our master server. You can see our public IP is this. So let me connect it here. See, it is asking for, you can see it is showing something permission denied, right? So here you have used the Ubuntu user. Let me use the admin one. I think which user it is there. Let me check. Yeah, you can see it is connected to the admin master US. So I will show you here. Let me clear the screen. Who am I? It is showing admin, right? IPAR. Yeah, no, this is not correct one. So we have connected. We need to try with this same command. Let me do it here. Try with the admin here because it is so connected with the admin user. Sorry, we already connected. Let me run some command here. kubectl get notes whether it is working or not. We can see this is here. It is not working, right? It means this kubectl is installed with the Ubuntu users. So what we will do, we will directly log in with the master server and check which user is working over there. Let's go and check, right? I am just logging with the same server, or you can try here with Ubuntu. Let me try. No password entry for this user. Actually, we need to remove the passwordless connection. So I think next here, let me correct this thing. Host name, not host name. This is a public IP of Kubernetes master server, right? And next, this is all for the deletion command. So we need to delete all those things. If we need to delete the cluster, we can directly go to run this command and it will delete all those clusters, right? So we have done these things so far. And now we need to run the application, or we need to check enable password authentication, right? So here is this system I am doing sudo sudo user. You can see we are logging with sudo access on the master server. This is the root, right? We need to enable the password authentication, yes, because we are getting this issue here, right? Ubuntu user, right? So what we will do here, we earlier in this starting we did, I hope so. No, in this slide we have not done, but I will show you how can we do it in the next video. Already I have that command. I will show you. See this enable password authentication, because in the cloud the default is a password authentication is disabled. So we need to go and enable it, right? I'm going on the master server. You can see here here this password authentication is no, so we need to enable it, right? I've saved it, right? And we need to restart the SSHD service, right? Again, for taking this effect. So it seems this service is not available in this slide, in this master server. So leave it this thing, because we have already logged in this server. We don't require to do anything. So let me connect this server directly. We can check it here, kubectl get all. No, we are not able to connect it from here. So no problem. We will go in the our management server and we will do all those commands for here, because from this place we are able to connect all those here. You can see here it is working from this management server. So we will go and we will do it those things. So uh, installation portion, I think we have completed here because everything is working from this place, and our cluster is ready. You can see now we will deploy one small application. We will test it, right? So what we will do here, you can see deploy application. We will clone this one, right? So we can see where we are in the root. So we will take all those things here, git clone. You can see we got it, this file here, right? And we will go to particular folder because we are using the not application here. So I will show you not application for detail. You can see here we have a not load balancer.yml and mongo lb.yml. We will use this XML. Before using this, I will explain those both files, what is written in there, right? So I am going here. I think I need to copy this because this is different project, right? So I need to copy, run it here, right? This is contain all the Kubernetes YML file in K8s. You can see here multiple files we have here, but we need to go into not application. You can see it is a not application contain the not load balancer.yml and MongoDB. First, I will explain this one because this is a backend thing, and this file contains the deployment. This is a Kubernetes file YML file where it contains the tag, API version, and kind. Kind contains the type of services which want to use, where we are using the deployment one, and this is the name, metadata name Mongo, and it is working from the backend side, right? And here you are using the images MongoDB image, right? And you can see name and image we are using, and port is working on this, port is working on Mongo. And for this deployment, we are using one service named Mongo, right? And it is running on the cluster IP. Cluster IP it is running. It will be run on the backend side, and it is not accessible from the outside, right? So mainly services are three type: cluster IP, a node port, and load balancer. So in this Mongo dot YML, we are using the cluster IP, right? Type services we are using. So when we will run this XML, it will generate one deployment and one services over here. And second file, you can see not LB. You can see when uh, this file contains the kind deployment file, and you can see it is a front end, and it is using the image Node.js 1.0, right? And and also this file contains one more kind. This is service, and you can see here you can service type is load balancer, and also it is so exposed on the node port service, so we can access this application via load balancer IP as well as node port IP. So when we will run this YML file, then it will generate one service, not service, and not deployment file. So let's go and run it. So I've already run the command. You can see here we don't have anything currently. We don't have anything. So let run. We can run using the apply command here, or we can use the create one also. See, I'm running this command. It will create one deployment, and it's create one service over here. So let me run that, not LB also. It will create one deployment in one service. So let's check kubectl get all. You can see here it's created two services. Not service. This is type is load balancer, and you can see external IP is pending. We will get this external IP in few seconds. And you can see here we got one more service, that is Mongo service. This service Kubernetes default one, which already default service is there, right? So apart from this, you can see those two services are created, and this is type is cluster IP, and it create do deployment not. You can see 0 0 / 1. It is not ready currently, and you can see replica set is created one because you have taken one. I have shown you replica set over there. Let me show you. You can see replica is one. So it will create only one port for each. See, this is one, and current one ready 0 because it is still one is running. It is still in the starting phase, creating phase, right? You can see here. Let me run it again. I think I just clear. Then I will run. It will give the clear picture. See. Now you can see it is a desired one and current one and ready one. So you can see not application is starting C75. You can see here C75 is a pod is running over here. This pod is running. And for this replica set, you can see this pod is running B49. One is running, right? If you increase the desired space, then it will increase the pods over here, right? So our things are ready. You can see we got the external IP also for the load balancer. So we can access our application in the different way. I will show you kubectl get pods minus so wide. So you can see our one pod is running on the this node one, and this is running on the node two. Different node both are. This is showing the uh, node IP address, right? And it is running age is 2 minutes 13 seconds. Just we have run, right? Now let's go and check the application. We can directly access the load balancer public IP, or you can access master IP address in the node port. Let's first access with this one, right? Or we can access directly with this load balancer IP. Oh. And also we can go and take the master public IP and node port 31200. You can see it is open here. Load balancer is working over here. It is a I'm putting here load balancer, right? This. You can see here it is working our service here, but you can see we are not able to access this on the master server because we have not opened this export this port. So let's go and open this port number over here. Okay, so view network details. And you can see I'm going to the firewall, and you can see here lots of firewall is created by the node port nodes and master. You can see here, see multiple things is already open, right? That it created by the Kubernetes cluster. So we will go and create a new firewall. I'm giving node port. All instance specific IP range. I am giving a specific protocol. We can enter TCP 31200, right? I am just creating it, this rule. Not port, right? Let me check it again. You can see here we are still not able to open 31200. So let me check the accurate port. What is here? Let me clear it and again run the upload application. You can see here, this is our external IP and this is the port. Oops, this is 30,000 and we are accessing this one on the 3100, right? That is our fault. So we need to change it 30,000, right? But before it, we need to go to our firewall policy. You can see here what we created here. We need to change it here also, right? You can see we are going here. This is 31200. So we need to enter 30,000, right? So I'm saving it. And you can see here at 30,000, I'm just hitting it. You can see this is, you can see our, we are getting from the a message from the load balancer, which we added here, right? And you can see here, we can, I'm just thinking, this is the master node, right? Okay, now we need to do it, check it from the node 2 and node 1 also. So I am going take the node 1, copy 30,000. You can see here we are getting this message because storing in the database. So we are writing here node 1, right? I'm publishing it. You can see here we're getting next line. And we can see here, sorry, this is for node 2 IP 30,000. You can see here this is node 2. I'm publishing here, right? You can see now I'm going back to the load balancer. And I am just refreshing it, right? Nothing, I'm not doing anything. You can see we are getting all those detail over here, right? See load balancer, master node, node 1 and node 2, right? So you can see in this slide here, everything is working over here. And you can see here, we can remove the directly all those pod and deployment using this command directly. I will show you this command also. We want to clean up here. This is delete command is run. You can see it already deleted. And I am going to run this other one also. It is deleted, right? Okay, let me something LB. Actually, we are running this command, right? So let me delete this one. kubectl get all. Let me check. Yeah, it is already deleted. You can see this part is still in termination state, and all those services are deleted. This is only default one. You can see here. Now this is the end of this demo, and the next demo we will use the same Kubernetes cluster, and we will create the CI/CD pipeline using Git, Jenkins, Maven, Docker, Ansible, and Kubernetes. So we will do this same thing on using this GCP cloud. And this cluster, whatever cluster we have created here, you can see here, we have created this cluster, and we will use the same cluster over here and created two more system for the Jenkins and Ansible, right? And we will do it, this thing. So I hope you like this video. Thanks for joining us. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Happy learning. Bye for now. Thanks.